Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Did you know that a few slip-ups could turn your eggs from a health hero into a sneaky villain? Eggs get all the love as a protein-packed powerhouse, loaded with vitamins and nutrients. But here's the catch. Mishandle them, and they can flip from good for you to downright risky in ways you'd never guess. It all boils down to how you prep, store, and cook them. In this video, we're spilling the beans on 5 everyday mistakes that might be making your eggs more trouble than they're worth. Some might even shock you, especially if you've been cooking them the same old way forever. Stick around to the end, because this isn't just about dodging pitfalls. It's about easy tweaks that can keep eggs your go-to superfood without the worry. We'll unpack what goes wrong when eggs aren't handled right and share simple fixes to keep them safe and nutritious. If you love eggs but want to ditch the hidden risks, you won't want to miss this. Let's dive in. Mistake 1. Turning up the heat and cooking eggs to a crisp. Let's kick things off with the first big blunder. Blasting your eggs with too much heat for too darn long. Eggs are like little treasure chests, packed with top-notch protein, brain-boosting fats, and a stash of vitamins that keep you ticking. But here's the rub. If you're cranking the stove to 11 and cooking them until they're tougher than a truck tire, you're not just changing the flavor. You're flipping the script on their health perks. Whether you're frying them until they're a golden brown brick, boiling them so the yolk looks like a swamp monster, or scrambling them into a sizzling mess. Too much heat sparks a chemical showdown that can leave you with more trouble than benefits. What's going on under the hood? High temps kick your eggs into overdrive, setting off a process that churns out some shady characters. Think funky compounds that mess with your system. One bad guy? Oxidized fats that sneak out when the heat's too fierce? These little troublemakers can stir up inflammation in your body. Think creaky joints or a ticker that's not too happy, and over time, they might nudge your risk for heart issues up a peg. That's a big deal, especially for seniors who've already got enough on their plate with age-related aches. Ever catch that rotten egg stink wafting up after boiling them too long? That's not just a whiff of regret. It's a sign the good stuff's taking a hit, and your eggs are losing their mojo. Let me paint you a picture with Tom, a 74-year-old from Missouri. He was an egg-for-breakfast guy his whole life. Loved them fried hard with edges so crisp you could hear the crunch across the room. He figured it was the tastiest way to start the day. No harm done. But over the years, he started feeling bogged down. Heartburn creeping in, a bloated gut that wouldn't quit, like his body was waving a white flag. Then he heard about how scorching eggs could turn their fats into foes. He swapped his fry till they die routine for a gentler approach. Low heat, soft and fluffy, and bam, within a couple weeks, he was back to his old self. No more morning blahs, just steady energy that carried him through. It's not just about the bad stuff piling up. Overcooking torches the goodies too. Eggs bring heavy hitters to the table. B12 for your noggin, folate for your cells, and eye-saving antioxidants like lutein. But zap them with heat for too long, and those gems start fading fast. It's like tossing cash in a bonfire. You're not getting the bang for your buck you signed up for. If eggs are your go-to for staying sharp and spry, how you cook them is half the battle. Crank the dial too high, and you're not just eating breakfast. You're chewing on a science experiment gone wrong. So, how do you keep the good vibes flowing? Chill out on the heat, folks. Go low and slow. Think a soft boil that keeps the yolk creamy, a poach that's tender as can be, or a fry that's just kissed by the pan. No crispy edges in sight. If you're scrambling, stir them gentle over medium, not a full-on blast. It's not about ditching eggs. It's about cooking them smart so they stay your health sidekick, not a sneaky saboteur. Little shifts like these can keep your plate packed with perks, minus the hidden headaches. Trust me, your body'll thank you with every bite. Mistake 2, rolling the dice with raw or half-cooked eggs. All right, let's jump into mistake number 2. Digging into eggs that are raw or barely cooked without a second thought. You've probably heard folks rave about how cracking an egg straight into a shake or slurping down a runny yolk is the golden ticket to max nutrition. Sure, eggs are loaded with protein, vitamins, and minerals that make your body hum. But here's the kicker. Skipping the heat can open the door to some nasty hitchhikers, like salmonella, that turn your breakfast into a health hazard faster than you can say scramble. For seniors especially, this is no small potatoes. Our immune systems aren't the spry bouncers they used to be. So what's a quick bellyache for a youngster could land us in a world of hurt? What's the deal? Raw eggs are like a roll of the dice. That shiny shell might look clean as a whistle, but bacteria can lurk inside or on the surface, just waiting for a chance to crash your system. Salmonella is the big bad wolf here. Think fever, gut-wrenching cramps, and a dehydration spell that'll knock you flat. Ever whip up a batch of homemade mayo, sneak a taste of cookie dough, or savor a poached egg with a gooey center? You might have been playing food roulette without even knowing it. For us older folks, that's not just a tummy tantrum. It can spiral into a hospital stay if things go south. Let me tell you about Doris, a 70-year-old from Oregon. She was all about her morning power shake, raw eggs blended with OJ, swearing it kept her sharp as a tack. She'd been at it for ages, no sweat, until one day her stomach turned into a war zone. Nausea, chills, the works. Doc confirmed it. Salmonella, straight from her trusty carton. She ditched the raw routine, switched to fully cooked eggs, and hasn't looked back. Same nutrition kick, zero drama. That's the wake-up call. Raw doesn't always mean better, especially when your body's not up for the fight. And it's not just germs playing dirty. Raw eggs pack a little gremlin called avidin, a protein that latches onto biotin, a B vitamin your nerves, skin, and energy crave. Eat 'em uncooked, and avidin's like a clingy ex, hogging the goods so your body misses out. Cook those eggs, though, in avidin's toast. Biotin flows free, and you're soaking up every perk. Some swear organic or free-range eggs are safer bets. Don't buy it. Bacteria don't care about the label. They'll RSVP to any egg party if given the chance. So how do you dodge this bullet? Cook 'em all the way. Scramble until fluffy, boil till the yolk's firm, or poach till solid. Can't resist that runny vibe? Grab pasteurized eggs. They're heat-treated to zap the bugs but keep the ooze. It's not about dumping eggs. It's about cooking them right so they lift you up, not lay you out. One little flip of the stove switch and you're golden. Nutrition locked in, risks locked out. Keep it safe and your eggs will keep you rocking. Mistake 3. Letting cooked eggs loiter like leftovers. All right, moving on to mistake number 3. Treating your cooked eggs like they can just hang out anywhere without a care. You'd think once those eggs are scrambled, boiled, or fried, they're good to go, right? Not so fast. If you're leaving them to chill on the counter like a lazy Sunday guest or stashing them in the fridge all loosey-goosey, you're rolling out the red carpet for some unwelcome bacterial buddies. Cooked eggs might seem tough, but give them the wrong setup and they turn into a playground for germs that can knock you off your game. Especially us seniors who don't bounce back from tummy troubles as quick as the young bucks. Here's the scoop. Once eggs hit the heat, they're in a whole new ballgame. Leave them sitting out in that danger zone, anywhere between 40 and 140 degrees, and bacteria like Salmonella or Listeria start throwing a party faster than you can say brunch. We're talking growth spurts in just a couple hours if the temp's cozy. Ever let a plate of scrambled eggs linger on the kitchen table while you sip your coffee, then scoop them up later? That's a gamble with odds you don't want. For older folks, a food bug isn't just a day on the couch. It can hit hard, leaving you queasy, dehydrated, or worse. Let me introduce you to Hank, a 73-year-old from Georgia. He was all about meal prep, whipped up a monster batch of scrambled eggs every Monday to coast through the week. He'd toss them in a bowl, slap a flimsy lid on, and call it a day in the fridge. Worked like a charm until he started feeling off. Gut rumbles, a sour stomach that wouldn't quit. Took him a few rounds of that misery to figure out his eggs were going rogue. He switched to tight containers, cut the batch size, and kept them cold. Bam, no more belly battles, just smooth sailing. That's the wake-up call. Storage isn't just a detail, it's a deal breaker. It's not just about keeping them cold. How you stash them matters too. Cooked eggs need to hit the fridge fast, not dawdle on the counter. Hard-boiled? You've got a week tops, scrambled or fried. 3, maybe 4 days before they're past prime. And watch the neighbors. Stick them next to raw chicken or unwashed greens, and you're begging for cross-contamination. Ever notice a funky vibe when you reheat leftovers? That's not just bad luck. Microwaving them into rubber or blasting them dry zaps the texture and the good stuff. Try this. Warm them slow on the stove with a dribble of water or broth. Keeps them soft, not sad. The payoff's worth it. Store them right, and your eggs stay a safe bet. Not a science experiment. Airtight, chilled, and eaten quick. That's the ticket to dodging the germ squad. Hank learned the hard way, but you don't have to. One little tweak and your breakfast back to being your buddy, not your bully. Keep it cool, keep it tight, and keep your gut grinning. Mistake 4. Gambling with cracked or past prime eggs. Next up, mistake number 4. Grabbing eggs that are cracked, creaky, or way past their glory days without a second glance. Eggs might look like trusty little soldiers sitting pretty in the carton, but if they're sporting a split shell or have been lounging in your fridge since who knows when, you're flirting with a health hiccup you don't need. Those tiny flaws or extra miles on the clock can turn your morning scramble into a breeding ground for troublemakers like Salmonella. Especially dicey for seniors, whose immune systems aren't quite the bouncers they used to be. One bad egg and you're not just off your game, you're down for the count. Here's the nitty-gritty. Freshness isn't just about flavor, it's about safety. A cracked shell's like an open door. Bacteria waltz right in, setting up shop before you even crack it yourself. And old eggs, they're not just stale, they're sketchy. The longer they sit, the cozier they get for germs, especially if they've been bounced around at funky temps. Ever pull an egg from the back of the fridge and wonder, is this still good? That expiration date's a hint, but it's not the whole story. How they're stored can fast forward or stretch their shelf life. Here's a pro move. Dunk them in a bowl of cold water. Sinks flat? Good to go. Stands up? Hurry up. Floats like a bobber? Chuck it. No questions asked. Let me tell you about Ruth, a 76-year-old from Colorado. She's a stickler for not wasting food. Cracked an egg with a whiff that wasn't quite right, but figured, hey, it'll cook out. Spoiler, it didn't. A few hours later, she was hugging the porcelain throne. Nausea, cramps, the full food poisoning package. Doc pinned it on a rotten egg she'd let slide. Now she's a water test warrior, checks every shell before it hits the pan, and she's been sailing smooth ever since. That's the lesson. One sniff of trouble can tank your day, especially when your body's not up for a brawl. It's not just cracks you've got to watch. Eggs can go south before they even land in your kitchen. Think warm grocery aisles or a delivery truck that's more sauna than cooler. Condensation's a sneaky foe, too. Moisture on the shell's a VIP pass for bacteria. And don't get me started on fridge doors. Those temp swings are egg kryptonite. Keep them in the coldest nook, not the side rack. Spot a hairline split, funky smell, or weird hue when you crack it. Pitch it fast, don't play hero. Ruth learned that gamble's not worth the payout, and neither should you. The win here's simple. Fresh eggs handled right, keep you in the clear. That water trick's your best buddy, takes 10 seconds and saves you 10 kinds of grief. Stick to the cold zone, ditch the duds, and your eggs will stay your breakfast MVPs, not your gut's worst nightmare. One quick check, and you're cooking with confidence, not crossing your fingers. Mistake 5, sizzling eggs in sketchy oils. Let's wrap up with mistake number 5, cooking your eggs in oils that are more junkyard than jackpot. Eggs are like the MVPs of your plate, loaded with primo protein, brain-loving fats, and nutrients that keep you humming. But here's the twist. If you're frying them up in the wrong grease, you're not just tweaking the taste, you're tanking the whole health vibe. Those cheap processed oils, like the stuff squeezed from soybeans, corn, or that tub of margarine, might seem harmless but crank the heat, and they turn into a greasy mess that drags your eggs from superfood status to a sneaky saboteur. For seniors especially, that's a buzzkill worth dodging. What's the scoop? Oils aren't all created equal. The junky ones, think canola, veggie blends, or anything that screams refined, go haywire when the pan gets hot. They break down, spitting out trans fats and oxidized gunk that don't play nice with your body. These bad boys can spark inflammation. Think achy joints or ticker that's throwing up warning flags. And over time, they might nudge your odds of heart trouble or foggy thinking up a notch. Seniors already wrestling with arthritis or cholesterol don't need that extra baggage. Ever sizzle eggs in a puddle of veggie oil and call it a day? You might have been frying up a side of trouble without even clocking it. Take Earl, an 80-year-old from Nevada. He'd been an egg man forever, two fried up every morning in whatever oil was cheapest at the store. He didn't bat an eye until his doc started asking about the sluggish vibes and creaky knees he'd been griping about. Turns out, those bargain bin oils were turning his breakfast into an inflammation bomb. He flipped the script, swapped in some butter and a drizzle of olive oil, and holy cow, what a turnaround. No more post-meal blahs, his joints felt friendlier, and he even swore his head felt clearer. One little switch, and his eggs went back to being his wingman, not his warden. It's not just about the nasty stuff piling up. Heat matters too. Those flimsy oils have smoke points lower than a snake's belly. Hit that limit, and they're coughing up free radicals, those pesky molecules that age you faster than a bad hair day. Cook eggs on high with that junk, and you're not just eating breakfast. You're dishing out oxidative stress like it's a buffet. Want the good life instead? Reach for the champs. Butter or ghee for that rich kick, coconut oil for a tropical twist, or extra virgin olive oil for a heart-happy hum. Avocado oil's a slick pick too. High heat's no sweat, and it's loaded with fats your body actually likes. The win's a no-brainer. Pair eggs with the right oil and they shine. Flavor pops, nutrients stay put, and your body's grinning, not groaning. Earl's proof, one tweak turned his mornings from May to magic. It's not about the eggs going bad. It's about the grease dragging them down. Ditch the sketchy stuff, cook with the good guys, and your breakfast will keep you rolling strong, not reeling from the fallout. One pan swap, and you're back in the driver's seat. There you have it, folks. The full rundown on 5 sneaky slip-ups that can turn your eggs from a breakfast champ to a kitchen conundrum. We've cracked the case wide open. Blasting them with too much heat fries their goodness. Slurping them raw invites uninvited guests. Letting them loaf around breeds trouble. Cracking old shells rolls the dice, and pairing them with junky oils drags them down. Eggs are a goldmine. Protein to keep you sturdy, fats to fuel your fire, and nutrients to keep you ticking. But these missteps can flip that treasure into a trap if you're not on your toes. But here's the beauty of it. Sidestep these pitfalls, and eggs stay your trusty sidekick, not a sneaky foe. It's not about tossing them out. It's about playing smart so they lift you up, not weigh you down. Dial back the heat to keep the good stuff humming. Cook them through to lock out the nasties. Stash them cold and tight to dodge the germ squad. Pick the fresh ones with a quick water dunk and fry them up with oils that play nice. These aren't big leaps, just little nudges that keep your plate packed with perks, especially for us seniors who want every bite to count. Think of it like this. Your body's a classic car. It deserves premium fuel, not cheap gas that gums up the works. Eggs done right can keep your engine purring, energy flowing, joints happy, and that pep in your step holding strong. Take it from Earl, Ruth, and the gang we met along the way. One tweak turned their mornings from meh to magic. Maybe you're like them, ready to swap the crispy fry for a gentle scramble, or ditch the raw shake for a solid boil. Whatever your move, it's about keeping the wins coming, not wrestling with fallout you didn't sign up for. So, what's your egg game plan now? Maybe you're eyeballing that butter stash or plotting a fridge overhaul. Whatever clicks, start small. Your gut, your heart, and your get up and go will tip their hats in thanks. Drop a 5 in the comments and spill what hit home today. I'm all ears, and your take keeps this channel buzzing. If this flipped your egg script, smack that like button, hit subscribe, and tap the bell for more kitchen smarts. Thanks for riding along. You're the fuel that keeps us cooking up tips to keep you rolling strong. Catch you in the next one.